I'm running an antivirus, so it's slowing things down. Okay, 3-4. Post-Earquam. After, oh God, this is going to take forever. He came to the Alps, quae which Italy from Gaul separate, which no one ever with an army before him, besides Hercules the Greek, had crossed. Okay, so it looks like the antivirus has stopped slowing it down. By which fact or deed, this pass, Hodie today, is a pelotord. It's called the Greek pass, looks like. What did he do? He cut down the Alpine people who were trying to prohibit him in his crossing. Looks like we're going back to Hannibal here with the semicolon. The Loca, this is used for bigger regions. The one version with an A, locus, US, is usually a smaller place. He patafacted. He made the place open and he unified roads. He made it that elephants, or an elephant, whose ornatus, so that's with the chair and all that trappings, etc. on it, were able to go. In which place before one human, unarmed, was scarcely able to creep through. Here was it a road, maybe? Okay, so via this, he led his copiers, his forces, into Italy when he arrived. Prevent it taking the in or ad, unless it's a town. Towns don't have prepositions. We'll scroll. Oh, there we go. Okay, 4. He had a conflict at the Rhone with P. Cornelius Scipio, consul, and he repelled him. He pulled at him, drove him off. With this same guy, I guess that's a place, Cledestai, on the Po River, he discerned it. It's pretty stronger than discern. He would have met him again. Discern is means to see or to sift. And saw him and wounded then. It looks like Scipio's gone into flight. He's been wounded in flight. 2. A third, the same Scipio at this time with his colleague Tiberius Longus at Trebia. He came adversus against him. When he sewed hands with them, sewing hands is a way I call it, but it's just they're clashing, hand against hand, you might want to say. He routed Utrusque, both of these guys, Scipio and Tiberius. Then through this place, Ligurias, he crossed the Apennines. In English, there's 2 P's. I think in Latin it's only 1. Peden, seeking Etruria. On this itinerary, on this journey, we've got adio, ut correlatives. He was afflicted with a grave eye sickness, a serious sickness of the eyes, to such an extent that afterwards, never he could use well. He couldn't equally use well his dextro, his right eye. So looks like it might have affected both of them, but only one of them got wrecked. Qua valetudinine. In this condition of health, even then he was being pressed with this same thing. He was ferreted, he was carried on a lectica, it's like a litter, something to this accusative guy. See Flamius the consul at Trasumenius with his army. He circumvented him, so he outwitted him or something, by insidious, which is ambushes and plotting. And he killed. I say, okay, so he killed this guy. And not much post after. I'll put a comma there. The praetor, see Centenium, with a selected handful of men, he occupying the pass. Okay, so you can put things in the accusative that are of the same person. Okay, so the guy holding the pass, the selected men have been killed. Hink. Then he reached Apulia. There, obviam, the adverb means you're meeting someone, and it's in the dative there. 2 consuls, C or G, Terentius and Elamenius, met him, obviamed him. The armies of both in one battle, or no, Prolio, he routed. He killed Paulum the consul and several besides ex-consuls. Being in these was Gnaeus Servius Geminus, who in the superior earlier year had been consul. After you've been a consul, you become a consulares. 5. Hac Pugnam Pugnata, with this pugna pugnated, he set out for Rome with no resistance. In the nearby mountains, the Propinus Montes of the herb of the city, he dwelt for a bit. When there, for aliquot dies, aliquot doesn't decline, several days, he had his camp. Then he reverted to Capua. Q. Fabius Maximus, the dictator Romanus, cast himself up against him in the Agro Fulano, in the Falernan lands. So, I guess Hic is Hannibal. He was clausus. He was shut in a very narrowness of the place, and by night, without any loss, detriment of his army, fourth declension, he expedited himself. He freed himself. You might want to say, snuck out. And is this dative? Yep, that's dative. And he gave words to Fabius, the most clever superlative of generals. It's a Plautine thing. Giving words mean he tricked him. Namqui. 4. Ablative absolute. Obduco means to cover. So with night covering. Samenta, near the plural. Bundle of wood or something. He, having been tied, Samenta delegata, wood being tied up in the horns of his beasts. We know he had elephants. It's probably cattle, I think. He intended that he burnt these bundles of wood, and a great multitude of this race of animals, these cattle, he immiscit. He sent out dispalatum, straying everywhere. Okay. Sarmentum, a shoot. In plural, it's twigs. I can't highlight it because of this antivirus thing running. Anyway, ablative absolute. With this suddenly visu sight cast upon them, or in their view, such a terror was injected to the dative army of the Romans, so that outside the ramparts no one dared to be ready to go. 3. Hank post the Ramgesta after this had been done, and thus not in many days. Who's this guy? Minucius Rufus, the magistrum of the horses. He's in charge of the cavalry or something. With pari, equal imperium, equal power as the dictator. Hannibal pro-duked, he lured him out into a prolim, into a battle by a dollar, a trick. And this guy fled as well. Comma there just for the hell of it, because there's one before dollar, so it makes a clause out of that. Tiberius Sempronius Gracchus, I know that name. He was consul again, second time, in this place Lucinius. He looks like he'd been absent, I guess, up here. He inducted him into an ambush again, and he sustained some damage. Was he killed? Probably. This other guy, M. Claudius Marcellum, who's 5 times consul at Venusia, in the equal manner, he interfected him, he killed him. Longomes, it'd be long, S taking the infinitive, it'd be long time to enumerate all the, or to count all the battles. So therefore, it looks like, this one shall be satisfactorily said, from which it is possible to understand Quantus, how great Illy had been, how great Hannibal was. Quam D, for a long time, or as long as he was in Italy, no one resisted EI, dative, in battle. No one against him after the Kenai battle placed a camp in the plain against him. Probably sensible.